Coach, tough loss against Sarnia. Does it really come down to the poor second period that cost you the game?
Um, Not specifically the second period, but there were certainly some self-inflicted wounds. Like we twice gave up breakaways in the game, and just kind of maybe a lack of awareness, and that's something that we've got to be more sharper on, and maybe as a coaching staff, got to take it on our shoulders more to make sure guys are aware. I mean, you'd like to think that we can keep an eye on where people are on the ice, but if we break it down to that much more, we'll take that ownership on ourselves to make sure we're not giving up breakaways, because it's too hard of a game to play when you're giving up two breakaways for goals.
It seems something about the second period that this team has struggled during the middle frame so far this season. Can you explain it?
Yeah, I mean, the eye test certainly says that, and we looked at this maybe 3 or 4 games ago in terms of poor second periods, but the analytics don't really necessarily say it's pretty balanced across the board. So there might be some instances here and there where it looks like a second period was poor, but on the large body of work, I don't necessarily think it's that. We certainly got to be harder and more urgent in our defensive zone coverage. I thought we were just too content to just sit around and not enough urgency to close and force stops and be hard. When we're at our best, like we were last Saturday, we are adding a bit of physicality to our game, and we're playing with more urgency. I saw that a little bit in the third period, but in our defensive zone play, we were still a little too content to just contain and not force stops.
You won the special teams battle tonight, killed off 5 minors, scored a power play goal. Has there been a greater focus on special teams of late?
There's been a massive focus on special teams. I don't particularly think our power play was very good tonight. I thought our execution, our passing was very sloppy. I know we got a goal on it. We did have a couple good instances in the third period, so hopefully we can build upon that. But we do need to drastically improve our execution level in the power play. I thought our penalty kill was fantastic tonight, especially the stretch of 5-on-3s at the end of the first period. The guys really stepped up and killed that off. So credit to them. That was a real big boost, you would think, going into the third, into the second period. We had 2 tough shifts in a row that kind of tilted the ice a little bit. And again, just some sloppy play where we, like I said, some self-inflicted wounds that led to their goals. But 5-on-5 overall, I thought we did a lot of pretty good things tonight, but not enough to get the win. And unfortunately, when you're playing a team you're trying to catch, you've got to find ways to win hockey games.
Speaking of playing a team you're trying to catch, you got to play them the very next game. Is there a benefit that you can get right back on the horse against the same team that you just lost to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we find ourselves in a deep hole, so we're going to have to focus on process and trying to do things the right way. When we do things the right way, we're a pretty good team to play, or a pretty good team and hard team to play against. And when we start to take a little bit of shortcuts, that's when we create a little bit of vulnerability in our game. So we have to make sure we're playing the right way, regardless if it's Sarnia or anybody else right now. We need to try to find ways to win hockey games, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Max Donoso got the start tonight. You've gone between Donoso and Joey Costanzo for the last several games. Do you anticipate a tandem for the rest of the season?
I guess we'll play it by ear in terms of how they perform. They've both taken moments of games where they've made some pretty good saves and looked pretty sharp, and they both had some moments where some goals have gone in that I'm sure they and everybody else would like to have back. So I guess at this point, like any other position, if they're performing well, there's opportunity. And yeah, certainly we would love one of them to step up and grab the bull by the horns, but that's just to not to put the onus specifically on them. We've got a lot of areas that we can improve upon defensively, offensively, special teams, coaching. We can get better everywhere.
Hi, I'm Dan Gemis, CEO of the Dan Gemis Real Estate Team. When you think real estate in Windsor and Essex County, think of the Dan Gemis Team. We're here to help every step of the way. Learn more at dangemis.com.
Geez, that was a tough one, wasn't it, Anthony? What went wrong tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think we gave them everything they got, For 2 goals, we give them breakaways. 1 goal is a defensive zone lapse by us. And it's just all self-inflicted wounds. And that one hurts because we feel we came out, played a pretty good game, and just little brain errors by us, and they always end up in our net.
Can you explain how tough it is to get going when penalties are called one right after another? Can you explain how that works for the fan?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, obviously. You know, some guys who don't play special teams, they're stuck, and some guys who do, you know, they're playing extra. So it's hard. It's hard on everyone. The guys who do, the guys who play, the guys who don't. So it's kind of just it takes the flow out of the game. Then guys are tired, and yeah, I just think, you know, obviously it's on us. We got to keep our discipline up, but yeah, it takes the flow out of the game.
It was a tough second period. You didn't have a lot going, and then in the third period, you tried to pour it on and outshot them in the third period. Can you explain why the team hasn't been able to put a full 60 minutes together?
I feel like, you know, we kill off that, whatever that was, 4-minute penalty kill, whatever it was, and you know, the crowd was going crazy, and you know, we were feeling all the energy. We were pretty fired up, but you know, the second period, it's been a tough period for us all year, and then yeah, in the third we come out. Casey's telling us just get pucks on net, and I feel like it's kind of like a nick in the bud, and then we kind of keep going, but it's just always too little, too late. So yeah.
What are the positives that you will take away from this game as you prepare to play Sarnia again on Sunday?
I mean, penalty kill. We were good on penalty kill. Yeah, however much we killed, we did it well. And I mean, I think we just got to take the third period, or at least last 10, 12 minutes of that period, and bring that into Sarnia Sunday, because we see them Sunday, and yeah, we got to come out strong.
As the calendar turns to February now, the regular season's slowly starting to wind down a little bit. Didn't gain any ground tonight. How do you stay positive in the room knowing that you're still X amount of points away from the playoff spot?
I think that's kind of what we have. We're a pretty positive group. You know, we're confident in our team. We feel that going into games we can beat anyone. I think we show that a lot of times when we play, you know, teams in the East, but it's these important games in the West that we got to win to just get in the playoffs. So, you know, we're still confident. We got Flint a bunch more times, so those are going to be big games for us. And yeah, you know, we're confident we can still make it, and now we got to do it.
You're never too old to play in the mud. The only thing that changes are the toys.
Another home game, another goal for you. I know it happened in a loss, but your effort was there tonight. Your goal was there tonight. How did you look at the game, even though it was a loss?
I thought we played a really good first period. We didn't give them much. We let one guy get behind us, but yeah, the first period we played really well, and we killed that big penalty off that 5-on-3 that continued over. But ultimately, we didn't carry that into the second, and the second has been a weak point for us all year, and I think going forward we're going to have to tighten that up.
Can you explain why the second period has been a weak one?
I really can't. I think we come out and we realize, hey, we played really well in the first, and then it's almost like we kind of have a little bit of a lapse. And if you get a lapse out there in this league, like, the teams are going to take advantage. Guys are too good. Teams are too good. So we got to try and cut that out going forward in February.
You scored a goal tonight. Walk us through the goal.
Yeah, I was just in my spot in the middle of the ice, and Abraham made a really nice play at the top and got it to me, and then as soon as I got the puck, I looked up and saw high blocker open, and I just did my best to put it there, and luckily it went in.
Yeah, and you definitely put it there. The PK was great. You were great on the PK. Can you tell the fans what makes for a good penalty kill?
I think hard work, and I think you got to have a brain too. You got to know when to kind of back off, when to go, when to close and kill plays. But if you do that all the time, you're going to get exposed. So I think the smarts and also working is the two biggest things that help PK.
What will be your mindset? What will be the team's mindset as you get set to play Sarnia again?
We just got to forget this one, I think. We can't. That second period can't happen, and I think if we play the way we did in the first and the third, I think that we're going to be all right. And we got to learn how to carry momentum, I think, into continue it throughout the whole game. Like, we killed that penalty off in the first. We should be gaining momentum from that and carrying that into the second.
Thanks, Noel.
You're never too old to play in the mud. The only thing that changes are the toys.